So, let's be real for a second. Writing is hard, but it's not just hard. It's hard to the level that in every story I've ever written, there's been at least one point, usually more, where I felt like it would be the better part of valor to throw in the towel, where I felt like I would be doing the world a service if I gave up. All authors experience that feeling, and if that's you right now, I'm here to tell you not to give up on your story. Don't hate on your first draft. First drafts are rough by nature. There's a reason they're called rough drafts. All newborn babies look like potatoes. What you're writing right now is probably a hot mess, but it won't stay that way. So don't hate your ugly newborn baby. All writers have to edit their first drafts, even the Stephen Kings and J.K. Rowlings of the writer world. And the books you see in bookstores, in libraries, the biggest names, they've all been reviewed by multiple people and improved so much from whatever that first draft was. Whether it's your first book or your 50th book, there's going to be revisions. There's going to be big edits as you go. The first draft is just a starting point. Don't hate on it, and don't set it on fire, no matter how much you may feel like it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're not alone. Writing can feel very solitary. When you're sitting at a desk or on your bed or on your couch or wherever you write, but there's actually a huge community of other writers out there waiting to connect with you. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, you have a community specifically of other writers doing the same thing you're doing. Take advantage of it. You have to put yourself out there and talk to people. It can be really hard. It can feel very intimidating, especially when people already seem to have made friends and built bonds and you feel like the odd one out. But don't be afraid. You can talk to people on social media, on forums, in library events. Not that anyone can go to a library right now. Basically, anywhere that people commune, you will find writers who want to support you. It'll take some time to find someone you really bond with, but you will find someone. You might even find multiple people. And it's such a great feeling to have even one person that you can message and say, hey, I'm having a really rough time right now. And they'll back you up and say, you're doing great. Keep going. Your story is worth telling. That's the best feeling. Yes! Don't compare yourself to other writers. There is no winning at the comparison game. When you compare yourself to other creators and other writers, you're not accomplishing anything. You're just training your brain to think negatively about your own work. And that's no good. Nah. No one ever woke up and magically produced the perfect book. A, there's no perfect book. And B, writing is hard. It takes work. It takes practice. And it's never beautiful on the first try. Those people that you think, oh, they make it look easy. They make it look easy. That doesn't mean it is. They've had other people help them along on their journey, or they've had more practice than you, and that's okay. Two cakes theory. If you're at a party and there's a dramatic 3-tier wedding style cake, and you brought your 1-tier homemade cake, the guests at the party aren't going to look at these and say, that cake sucks. They're going to say, wow, 2 cakes! And that's how it is with stories. Just because you don't write like so-and-so, it doesn't make you a bad writer, and it doesn't make you worth less. It's 2 cakes. My hair is in my way. Keep going. On your worst day, you may feel like your story is worthless, or like you're the worst writer who's ever put pen to paper. But it's not true. Not even. It's not true, but it feels like it is. And it's a really hard time. This roadblock stems from fear, and it feels like you'll never get past it. But if you keep going and you keep pushing at it and pushing back at that terror, it'll fall. A piece of your story that doesn't fit, or criticism that you've received, or not even knowing where you're going to go next with it. It's not the end of the world. It's not. It's like sculptures. It might look like a big, huge, ugly chunk of marble right now. But if you keep hacking at it, keep plugging away at it, it'll start to look like a sculpture. And you can make it beautiful after you have the rough draft done. Fear. Fear is the biggest thing holding you back. But your story deserves to be heard, and you're the only person who can tell it the way you want to tell it. There might be other variants out in the world, but no one has told your story. And if you give up, no one will ever hear your version. No one will ever be able to try your cake. Believe in yourself and believe in your story. Whether it's your first book or your 100th book, writing will always be hard. You're creating something out of absolutely nothing. Of course it's going to be difficult. But if you don't give up and you keep working hard, you'll get through it. You'll get past this roadblock. You'll overcome this fear. You will finish your story. You'll finish it. And you will grace the world with its existence. I want to read your story, but you have to finish it first. My work here is done. Like and subscribe if it makes you happy. I post blog articles every week on my website. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as author Ivy L. James. Now go forth and don't give up on your writing. I believe in you. There's a reason they're called rough drafts.